fine day in 1923, local attorney and newspaper publisher Josiah W. Gitt was visited by a group of 18 prominent Hanover citizens. The men arrived with an intriguing proposition. The time was right to build a country club, and they wanted Gitt to lead the effort. They had their eyes on a little bit of paradise, a meandering stretch of Adams and York counties near Abbottstown. The turf farm was bisected by Beaver Creek and nestled not far from the Pigeon Hills. It had good soil, rolling pastures, and a steady supply of water. Gitt agreed to have a look, and to his surprise he found the site that, with time, vision, and perseverance, would grow into a cherished and challenging country club. The investors moved quickly. In January, with no land or facilities in place, 53 subscribers were on the books. Annual dues were projected at $50. In February, the list had grown to 112 subscribers, and the club had secured the funds it needed. On February 16th, the board of directors authorized Gitt to purchase the 140-acre Frank Hafer farm from Cleason Stanley for $16,000. A week later, Gitt filed for a charter of incorporation for the maintenance of facilities of athletic sports and a club for social enjoyment, to be known as the Hanover Country Club. The land secured, the investors set upon creating a landscape worthy of the title. Gitt, already a member of the York, Baltimore, and Pine Valley Country Clubs, was tasked with turning the farmland into an attractive playing field. No one knew anything about golf in Hanover at the time, Gitt recalled in 1975, and they looked upon me to lead them through the darkness, as it were, so I took up the problem of laying out the course. Gitt dove into the task with his characteristic zeal and thorough study. He consulted with the county farm agent to choose which grasses would grow quickly from seed, and by June that same year, members were playing a temporary 9-hole layout. Already, about 20 Hanoverians have been getting their first taste of the Scotch national pastime, and talk about hazards, stymies, and niblicks and other lingo of the sport may be picked up at any evening at the club, the Evening Sun reported on June 12, 1923. By August, the newspaper reported, members were fast becoming proficient at the art of playing golf. That month, the club held its first handicap tournament. Mrs. Lawrence B. Shepard and H.W. Young were awarded loving cups. We didn't have any machines to level anything off. We took the ground as it was and laid it out, Gitt said. The club members were pretty patient, and they played up and down the meadow on both sides of the creek. We proceeded to level things off a bit for greens, and went on to lay out 18 holes. Amazing as it may seem, the whole course design business, up to that point, cost less than $10,000. Golf was the first, but not the only activity envisioned at the fledgling club. In April of 1924, Hanover Country Club threw open the doors on a new clubhouse that boasted locker rooms and baths for players, as well as a large living room and dance floor for the rapidly growing membership, which by then totaled 160. Initial plans called for a small brick house to service the clubhouse, but after a good deal of argument, we decided to use the bank barn, Gitt said. It was made into a magnificent clubhouse that it is now. Tennis courts and a spacious swimming pool soon followed. Beautifying the course remained Gitt's passion. Along with founders Clinton Myers and Harry Earhart, he set about complementing the layout with a significant array of trees. We pushed through the plans to get the trees from the state, which cost us a couple of cents apiece, and before we got through, we planted about 40,000, Gitt said. The trees eventually grew up, and today it is one of the most beautiful golf courses, if I may say so myself, that I have ever seen, Gitt said in 1972. By the annual meeting in 1928, just 6 years after its incorporation, the club totaled 250 members. Gitt noted with pride that from the very beginning, the club was operated on a budget and has faithfully lived each year within its income. The future looked bright. The club even saw its first hole-in-one, delivered in 1930 by none other than J.W. Gett. And then came the Great Depression. Longtime board member W. Cyril Smith called the decade from 1932 to 1942 the club's darkest years. Club membership plummeted from 250 members in 1929 to 95 in 1936. Despite careful planning, the club was running at a deficit. Again, Gett quietly came to the rescue. I honestly believe we would have been forced to close if Mr. Gett had not continued to advance money to the club and paid many of the bills out of his own pocket, Smith said. The end of World War II brought renewed interest in leisure activities, and Hanover Country Club regained its financial footing. As membership stabilized and climbed, many facilities were improved and added. The Bank Barn Foundation is now supporting one of the finest clubhouses in this part of the country, Smith recalled at the club's 50th anniversary in 1973. The old apple orchard has been replaced with a spacious and convenient parking lot. The former location of the wagon shed has been beautifully landscaped, and the pig pen has just been replaced by a beautiful swimming pool. Of those 19 founding members, Smith said, I am sure that their very least comment would be, "It is just the way we planned it." The subsequent 50 years brought more change, perhaps none greater than the course redesign that began in 1996 and debuted as the club celebrated its 75th anniversary in 1998. The original Hanover Country Club crossed Canal Road, which was just a dusty trail in 1923. By 1996, playing across the road was impractical and dangerous. More than 10 years in the planning, the new track saw 4 holes added and 3 significantly altered as the 18-hole layout rose from a par 70 to par 71. No longer did Canal Road traffic create slow play and offer inadvertent targets. We loved our old golf course. Every hole was different. Every hole was unique, former President Ron Whitman told the Evening Sun in 1998. With the new course, I'd say we added some great golf holes. Generations have grown up at Hanover Country Club. As facilities expanded and improved, so did the club family. Countless children have hunted for Easter eggs, paraded in Halloween costumes, and sat on Santa's knee. Dinners, dances, and galas have decorated the club calendar since that first open house in 1924. Countless neighbors and visitors have enjoyed high school proms, charitable events, and community celebrations. Members have met, wed, taught their children to swim, and even seen their grandchildren camp along Beaver Creek in anticipation of the annual Independence Day cookout and fireworks display. Here, 100 years of memories still echo in the trees and stir in the mist on a foggy autumn morning. The founders of the Hanover Country Club saw something special in that quiet farmland, something they could build and nurture and pass down through time. A century later, their vision remains strong.